welcome to the Power 410 Radio Show. Welcome to the Be More Loyal Soul Patrol. I am your host, Carter Chris White. And I got my host over here. She's going to tap in tonight. We got some special stuff coming up, but y'all know how we're going to bring it in. We're going to bring it in with the Lord's Prayer. Pray, give God some glory, because we did make it this morning. So y'all can say it with me too. Y'all say it on live too. Y'all, let's look in. Y'all pray too. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever, Lord, as always. Have your way through the airways. Touch some soul, change somebody's life, get somebody some different directions tonight. In Jesus' name we love you. Amen.
Amen.
So we got a lot coming up. We got a lot going on this month. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mental Health Awareness Month.
Oh, she let her introduce herself too. She's gonna introduce herself for y'all.
For those of you who do not know already, I'm your girl, Miss Critique. I'm here with Mr. Chris White with the Be More Loyal Show, and we are live on Powerful and on radio tonight.
Yes, we are alive. We are alive too.
Yes,
I
we
thank
are.
God that we are alive today, because some people didn't get to make it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had plans. Somebody had plans to do something today and it didn't come through.
Right.
But we made it. So shout out to God for that one.
Yes, amen.
So what we got going on? Mental health.
We have a lot going on. We're gonna go straight into what we're talking about. Talk about the events.
We're gonna talk about everything. We're gonna cover it today, man. Listen.
So let's talk about mental health.
Mental health, okay.
We're gonna talk about mental health and the importance of mental health. You know, so Chris, what are some things that you do to cope with your mental health? Sometimes, you know, we are human beings just like everybody else. So we go through our days, our good, our bad. But you know, for some of us, we're a little stronger and can, you know, get through those bad days. So we don't allow it to dwell and cause conflict in our life. So what are some things that you do to cope with mental health?
Well, first of all, you know, I get up and I keep God on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my mental health. I don't really read my Bible no more like other people do, because I got it in my heart.
Right.
But I think that's a good form of meditation, when you're able to read the Word and pray and ask God to give you understanding of what you read. And you can always find whatever problem you're going through as far as mental health. It's in the Bible. You can go to the back of the glossary where you got sadness, happiness, joy, you want peace. It gives you certain scriptures in the Bible, because, like I said last week, the whole Bible is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to figure out like what story in there would relate to my real life.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean, real life human stuff. So when I read, I told y'all Matthew 25, Job, and Joseph's story.
Mm-hmm.
They are the three mental health awareness scriptures that I read and got me through that 60-year federal sentence, because that was mental health. Just being able to think, you know, because when you're in there, so much stuff be happening so fast when you're in prison, right? That you got to think for the next person.
Right.
That's part of mental health too, being able to think for other people, because people really don't mean nothing. It's not the people that the Bible says we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but it's a spirit that get on people, and some people are not strong enough to be able to shake that spirit and to get to doing stuff, and, you know, moving people's minds to different things when they want to stab people up or they want to fight, or whatever the case may be. But I just keep loving people. That's how I deal with mental health.
Yeah. Well, mental health is real, you know, and people, you just never know what people are going through. People can be walking down the street, they look normal. These celebrities out here that we, you know, look up to, they go through it too, you know. And I always say, never praise anybody, you know. Of course, keep God in your heart and God in your spirit, and you know, you should be able to make it through. Praying for me as well is one of it. One of the let me say, not really coping skills, but just that's one of the routines that I have. It's part of my routine, my daily routine. Praying, manifesting, as well as what I call my meditations, journaling. I like to journal, write things out. Sometimes
So you share your book by now, man.
I have a lot of them.
You should
I have
go
a lot of journals that I talk about everything.
You need to pray and ask God to give you a title for your book, man, so you can release that.
I did actually.
Oh, so you gave me
I've been. He's given me a title, and I have been working on a book for the past 2 years.
Author, y'all. Got no best-selling author in the building.
I'm actually working on a movie.
What?
Yeah, that's the next thing I'm getting into film. So I am working on a movie, but it's been 2 years I've been working on this movie. So God is gonna tell me when it's time to.
So
release.
you writing it?
Yeah, I'm writing it.
Okay.
So yeah, He's gonna tell me when to release it. I am gonna start it off as a book and then work it to it. Into
They say books are better than movies, but
I think I think you should do a book first and then write the movie, because it gives people, like, if you have the book, right, and you actually read the book, you're familiar with the story. When you go to see the movie, then you get a visual, and it gives you an opportunity to say, okay, now it's kind of like, oh, I remember that part. If you really read. For me, if it is a book to a movie, I like to read the book first.
The book gives you more juicy stuff because the movie got to move kind of.
It moves quick.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Get to slow down with the book and get to really enjoy it. So.
Yeah. And then.
Got a book coming.
Yeah. Can't say when yet though. God haven't told me when to release it, so we're gonna keep working on it because we got a lot to tell.
Okay.
But meditation is one of them. I like to, for my meditations, I do water meditations with shower, jacuzzi. I like anywhere where it's like a body of water. Even if I just go sit, it's a waterfall not too far from my house, and I go up there and it's like a little platform there, like a little bench and everything, and you can sit and you can see the fish and the ducks and all that stuff. And I like to sit there and just like listen, just sit still. Sometimes when I'm going through stuff, I like to sit still. That's my thing. And boxing. I love boxing. That's a
shakeout too.
Yeah.
That's a shakeout on that joint. That joint, like, yeah.
I like boxing.
Get hit with the mitts. Because I keep dropping my hands, right?
Yeah, you definitely got to keep them hands up. That's one thing I learned. My teacher, shout out to Go Setters, Rashad. He is the truth. And oh my God, he haven't even, every time I give with him, my training get harder and harder. But it's helping me to stay consistent too. I'm working on that. I'm consistent with a lot of things, but and then being up early, being consistent, and just pushing forward, because I do be like, wait a minute, I need a break. I need a water break. And you be like, no, you get a water break after this. But I be like, yeah, I gotta get it in. But it's fun. For me, it's therapeutic. It's therapeutic, So I do like boxing, working out. I like lifting weights, and yeah, I like doing that. I gotta get back to the weights though, because I've been slacking a lot in my fitness regimens. But we getting back to it. We're gonna be in shape by the summertime. I got till July. My birthday in July, so yeah.
July.
That's my goal.
At the end
ready.
Of
the 23rd, July 23rd.
So you're not canceling?
No, I'm a Leo. I start the Leos. That's why everybody will be like, "No, you're borderline Cancer." No, I am a true Leo. Okay.
Well, I'm a Cancer, man. We kill slow. But guess what? Cancer can't kill everything. You got God though. God can beat the cancer. So that's why I'm always getting beat.
But now, yes,
I think that people, mental health, it's got a lot to do with your eating too. So what you eating can change your life.
Right.
And that's big facts right there. When I start cutting a lot of things out, I was able to think better. I was on my toes. Changing my diet, eating fresh stuff, eating what God told us in the Word to eat from the land. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we do. That's why we ask for the donations. Y'all got to look at the page and see all the beautiful, fresh vegetables that we give for y'all, so that you can change your eating habits and start making you salads and, you know what I'm saying, just juicing and stuff like that, man. You just talking about lipo.
Right.
Lipo, you're going to lose your life.
Right.
If you do what God say do, it's going to drop off to you like
right way. And then that's the thing with the lipo and stuff with the surgeries. It's like, all right, they're sucking the fat out of you or whatever they do, but they still have the skin. Then you got to work on the skin. Some people, they have to
Everybody
wrap
seen
the
get that
skin.
stuff, they get big. They got bigger.
Yeah, because they don't do the work to stay small, and then it's like it's really just shrinking your stomach, but your meal intake is going to be less because you can't really you in your mind you're still going to be hungry, but you can't eat as much as you want because they do something where so your stomach can only take about a certain amount of food at a time. So if you eat too much, you're actually going to get sick. That to me is miserable.
Wow.
I would not want to go through that.
Mm.
At that point, it's like, all right, if it's meant for me to be big, it's just going to be meant for me to be big because I'm just not going to do that.
All you got to do is exercise, though.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the longer, again, that's where people got to have the mentality and the patience and the will to work.
Like, consistent too.
There's a lot of people I know who have gotten the surgery has definitely gotten bigger.
It comes down to them making a decision. You gotta make a sound decision. Is this what I want, or is this not what I want?
Right.
Once you come to realize that, your life depends on. Look at Big Pun, for instance. Like, Big Pun was too big, right? And he couldn't even breathe. He couldn't walk. He was out of breath from a couple of steps and stuff like that. When you get to that point right there, you gotta change. You can only change your life.
Right.
Only you can change it. Only you can deal with your mental health. Only you can. I can't sit down with, like, I'm not saying nothing wrong with counseling, but you got a counselor. You got to sit down and you got to be open to hear what God is saying to you. That's the best counselor I can give to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's cool to talk to people who probably been through what you've been through. And that's who you want to talk to. You also want to talk to counselors who've been through what you've been through.
Right.
How am I going to sit down with somebody who ain't never experienced what I'm going through right now to tell me what's the right move for me to make when you ain't never make the move and got through it? It's coming and tell me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do believe that sometimes, of course, praying and talking to your God, but also, like he said, talking to someone who you can relate to, or getting you a accountability partner. Sometimes having someone who, are going to motivate you to push. Like, for instance, I took my daughter with me. She backed out on me at the last minute last time, though. She told me she was going to go. But the time before then, she had came out with me. And, she actually liked it. And the girl got a mean right hook, I ain't going to lie, because I almost forgot she was my daughter for a second because she jabbed me real quick. Well, she hooked me, not jabbed me. And I was like, wait a minute. I had to remember she was my kid. But I think those, like, experiencing things like that, and it was funny because, like, my trainer was like, after we did the session, he was like, I think you should bring her more often because she pushes you and you push her. And I'm like, yeah, because, like, it'll be times where I'm like, I'm tired. And she was like, come on, Ma. We got a couple more minutes, And I'm like, all right. And, of course, that's my daughter, so I can't be looking, a little weak in front of my child, right? So it motivates me to get up. And then the same thing with her. It was times when she was like, oh, man, this making me tired. And she'd be like, I'd be like, come on, we're going to get to the water, but we got to get done. You know what I mean? She left the freaking water in the car. I was a little mad about that. I always make sure I got my water. But those are things that I feel like, talking with people, meditating, exercising, getting you a friend that you can, depend on, and even or a counselor, you want to do, those are things that you can implement in order to help with your mental health is really, really important. Self-care is really important, and all that stuff go hand in hand. And one thing that I wish to do, and one that we talk about when it comes to the event, is to implement certain skills and resources to help people that are going right. Right now, mental health is at its all-time high. Like,
I ain't never knew it went down. It's been at
an all-time high, but it has definitely, increased over the years since COVID, and people are developing, issues that they were not going through before. You got people that had, after being in a house for so long, or had to work from home because they wanted to, but because they was forced to, or children not being able to socialize with one another because they was forced to do school. They were being homeschooled. You get what I'm saying? On a computer. But again, and then now you tell us 2 years later that we have to, go back to normal. And what is considered normal now? Now those kids that work so hard to even become, social, who already had an issue with being social, now they have to relearn all over again how to be social. And then so many people started questioning what was real and what is not. You get what I'm saying? Because again, the media put out so much stuff. You don't know what's real and what's not. What are they feeding us, and what they're just telling us? And first it was if you get the shot, COVID shot, it's going to help you not to get COVID. But then you get the shot, and a month later you get COVID, right? And then they don't tell you the after effects, because when you get the shot, it make you feel like you got COVID the day that they gave it to you.
Some people said they lost their taste.
Yeah.
They smell.
I'm telling you, like, you really don't know what to believe, and it's sad because like I say, it's definitely at its all-time high right now, and I believe that more people are actually taking action and following through with. Is more people talking more about it more. And I think that's really what we need, though. We need transparency. We need, people coming out and, saying, well, how they got through this and how they got through that. I think it'll help, somebody else by sharing our stories and stuff. When you can relate to somebody and they can relate to your story, and you are able to get through a certain situation by sharing that story with someone else, it can actually help them get through it. So I believe that we need more people to be open and be more transparent. And I see a lot of like the associates that I know and people that I follow on social media, they are being very transparent. They are sharing their stories, talking about their situations that they have went through, and that's one thing about that with utilizing social media is that you are open and free to share whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. And if you utilize your platform for greatness, you actually can,
Get some great results.
Get great results and make a change and make an impact.
Great connections.
Yeah. Now I've seen some great stories, like people that, have been, went through depression stages that, to the point where they were, implementing incisions in themselves and stuff like that. Like,
cutting themselves
and stuff. Like, and they shared the stories of how they got through it, So I just commend them because, again, you don't have to say anything. You can keep those things in. But there are somewhere out there's someone who are going through the same thing. And that somebody sharing their story could actually, you just don't know how much that could save somebody else's life. Because maybe they'll even feel comfortable with reaching out to that person that shared their story and say, hey, I need someone to talk to. Would you be willing to help me? I need resources. Would you be able to help me? And I think that if we do more of that, sharing our stories, sharing our resources, sharing how you got through something, it will actually help somebody in the long run. What do you think, Chris?
I think everybody need to get their confidence back. Nobody believe in themselves no more. They believe what everybody else say about them is true. They're not making their own decisions no more. They rather sit under this person right here who treat them bad, and then you got somebody over here treating them good. They treat the person treat them good, bad. Treat the person treat them like trash, like they golden. Worshiping the people. I think last week we was talking about that. So we got so many people us partnering for the last a year and a half. We've been involved. So with that 1 year, like I said, if you're around people, my mama said if you're around 4 broke people and you go hang out with them, you're the 5th one, because there is no conversation about how we're gonna get ahead. There ain't no consistency, because in order to be consistent with something, you got to make up your mind that look, we ain't gonna be broke no more.
Right.
We're gonna go out and find a way to make something happen. Everybody not doing that right now. They rather sit and push somebody else's vision. They rather sit and push somebody else's dream, take orders for somebody else when God gave you your own assignment, right? And you sitting on it. Or fear stopping you from stepping out on faith. And y'all gotta ask, when y'all pray, y'all gotta ask for some faith.
Yeah.
He said, if you have faith with a grain of mustard seed, you can move a mountain. Listen, we've been moving mountains. Them joints kept building in front of us for this whole year and a half. We've been trying to do what we've been trying to do. It's been mountains at the mountain at the mountain. Every day it was a mountain. But guess what? I can't, and no ain't in my vocabulary. I don't even use those words. So when somebody tell me no, or you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that, that should be enough ammunition for you or gas to put in your tank to know that you can do it. Some people going to just try to put their fears on you and stuff like that. That's part of mental health. If somebody can control your thinking, right? How are you letting somebody else control your thinking? If somebody else can put some batteries in your back and make you go and do something to somebody else, the youth. How you let somebody make you go do something that you don't want to do,
Right.
and then you don't think about the end of it. See, me, I think about the end first. I don't care what situation it is. I always think about the end outcome of it, how it's going to look. That's like playing chess. You got to be 30, 40 moves ahead of your opponents at all times. Always think ahead. If your mental health ain't straight, start eating the right food so you can think. In the morning time when kids go to school, if the kid ain't had no breakfast, right, ain't had that first meal, the energy level is down. They ain't got nothing to even, no food to even think about a math problem. 2 plus 2, what? It's 10.
Right.
Why you say it's 10? It's wrong.
I'm hungry.
I need help because I can't even, I'm thinking about these pains. Matter of fact, when I said 10, it was, my stomach just kicked 10 times.
Right.
That's what I was counting for real. I ain't even in school.
Right.
So I figured if you can get them kids the right proper meals in the morning time, like breakfast, lunch, give them some real breakfast and lunch, they can think and function properly to be able to think past whatever the questions is or whatever the tests say or whatever the case may be. So
Right.
yeah, you gotta feed the brain, man. You gotta feed your heart. You gotta live on love. Love gonna win everything over. Like they're gonna love all day. That's what I think about how I practice. Not practice, but it's because it's my nature. I smile all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you can brighten somebody's day up. Somebody that's going to do something like thinking about doing something crazy to themselves or thinking about doing something to smile. That smile that you give them, or that hello, speaking to people, being social with people, that can change a person's thought like in 1 second.
Right.
Man, you know what? I was just great. Yeah, but you came through and you smiled at me, and that just made me think about something else and think about living now. So like,
I know one thing I try to do if I see someone frowning or I see someone that even look down. You can tell I'm a big energy person, so if you're around someone and they're depressed, you can kind of tell. And sometimes you got some people that could be going through something, but they hide it by smiling and laughing or being the class clown, or you know what I mean. And it's like sometimes you gotta kind of like read in between the line and see through people. Because why are you doing that? You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10 they're doing it because no one sees them. So it's a way in like forcing someone to see them, but they're doing it in the wrong way, right? So for me, it's about bringing that wall down and helping someone to really dig deep in with what it is that they're looking for. What's wrong with them? How and then we sit down and say, how can we fix that, or how can we work on that? How can we make it better? How can we make you feel better? Right? A lot of times we see depression as like a person they're not keeping themselves up. They might not keep their hair done. They might not, wear, clean clothes, or they might not even wear clothes that fit. You get what I'm saying? So again, it's like, and us being humans, and some of us not being educated, we look at that as, oh, they're just nasty, or they're just not, they're dirty and stuff like that. You don't know what a person is going through. Right. So we have to stop. We have to stop. We have to stop judging.
Judge not that ye be not judged.
Absolutely, we have to stop judging and making fun and picking on people and stuff like that.
Bullying.
No bully zone. Like we gotta stop doing that because again, you never know what someone is going through. That class clown could be home taking care of a sick parent, or being in foster care, and they're not being treated right because they in foster care. Sometimes they don't treat the kids right. You'd be blessed if you find someone that actually bring you in and they're taking you in and treating you as their own. There's a lot of them. They doing it for the check. You know what I'm saying? So to be able to have someone come in and they actually showing them that they care and they teaching them right from wrong, and we talk about this all the time, how people become the product of their environment. So if you are setting an environment, a peaceful environment or a positive environment, like one thing about my children I have installed in them, is freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and confidence, right? And both of my kids are like night and day. One of them, socialite. The other one, she is just to herself. She have her little small circle, and she's good with her people, right? But what they do have in common is the freedom of expression, and that's because that's something that I taught them. They have that confidence to just do what it is. Dress the way they like. Change up their hair, and everyone and both of them have their own thing. They got their own thing going on. So again, there's no judge zone in our house. So I think that when we implement those things and we're actually teaching our kids and educating them on self, care and confidence building, and allowing them freedom of expression. Back in the day, we was told what most of the time we was told, children don't have an opinion, or they can't. We don't have a freedom of speech, or don't talk unless an adult say something to you. And I think that, it's boundaries. I think boundaries is okay to have.
Right.
It's called respect, right? But to just give a child, to take away their freedom of expression or freedom of speech is like, you boxing them in. And nobody likes to be boxed in.
Don't let nobody box you in.
Mm-mm.
The Holy Spirit gave me that, Chris. Don't let nobody box you in.
Right. Nobody likes to be boxed in, because that's like taking a dog, right, and putting them in a cage, and you leave that dog, and you didn't turn off the lights.
Ain't feed him.
You didn't feed him. You didn't give him water.
You ain't changed the stuff.
Yeah, you didn't change his. You know what I'm saying? So, and then they're sitting in their feces. They're hungry. They're thirsty. The light they have not seen, and you done left them like this for, say, a few days. I'm not gonna even say a week or two, or nothing like that, or nothing outrageous like a month. No, but you done left them like this. So when you come back, right, and you finally say, okay, I'm gonna give them some water. I'm gonna feed them. I'm gonna clean them up, right, and then I'm gonna let them out. After you did this, it's gonna be two things. And the two things that I always say, and even in talking about humans, right, I always say it's two things that you can do when it comes to your past, right? You can either take your past and make positive out of it, so if you done been through some things, right, you can either take that and change the narrative, right? Make something of yourself. Don't allow your past to be the reason why you don't make it, right? Because to me, that's excuses. Sometimes we take our past and we allow it to make us stronger, right? That's one choice. Or you can take your past and you allow it to be your excuse for why you are a deadbeat, or why you stuck, or don't have a plan, or you just decide to go downhill and you making all the wrong decisions, right? That's an excuse, because we all have two choices. You can go uphill or you can go downhill.
Oh, somebody give us some balloons.
Shout out for the balloons. So again, that's the same thing getting back into the animals, like getting back to the situation with the dog. If you cage that dog in, and again, you have left them for days.
Abandonment.
They haven't
That's
eaten. It's abandonment.
That's abandonment.
And that's another thing that we as humans we go through as well. We might suffer from abandonment. People leaving us. You get what I'm saying? You may go through depression. All of this, and again, that dog at this point has two choices. Once you open up that door,
attack you.
It can attack you
Because you ain't take care of me.
because you ain't take care of me. You abandoned me. So we not friends, right? You don't love me. Or it could not want to come out at all because now I'm stuck. Because I'm used to this. I'm not supposed to be outside. What are you doing? You are opening up this door. I don't know what's out here. You get what I'm saying? Or they could come out and be free and take that moment because again, they don't know whether they're gonna be back in that hole. You get what I'm saying? Within the next couple minutes, how long do I have? They're gonna take advantage and they're gonna, eat. They're gonna drink. They're gonna enjoy being clean. They're gonna run around if you allow them to go outside and play. Or they're gonna run away. Because I'm gonna be the one to try to run away. I'm gonna get away. You are not gonna find me, and I'm gonna go somewhere. You get what I'm saying? But again, we have two choices in life. You can either take what you have been through and make something out of it, and flourish. And we hear the stories all the time. This person they were homeless or they were in foster care. And
while you on homeless, right? I saw this video earlier. I was watching my way to come.
Mm-hmm.
So you had this homeless guy, right? And he was on top at one time.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, in 1 second, one wrong turn, even me, I just tried my best every day to go straight, but one wrong turn, I had Carter Chris White and Be More Loyal under the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So the homeless man took a turn for the worst, right? And when he turned for the worst, you had this guy come up on him, and the guy see him, and he says, "Man, look, I got this plate of food, and I got an iPhone right here.
Mm.
Which one do you want?" So the homeless man was like, because nobody ain't really talk to him. So he's like, "Huh? You the phone or the food?" He said, "Golly, man, I ain't ate in like 3 days. So, man, the phone, I can use anybody's phone for real." He said, "Man, I'm gonna go ahead and take the food."
Mm-hmm.
Now the guy gave him the plate of food, right? The styrofoam tray. He was like, "Oh man, this is what the homeless man said." I'm telling you, I love homeless people. He said, "Man, it's a lot of food in this tray."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Man, I got it's enough for me to share with Sharon. This critique,
Mm-hmm.
powerful on the radio, Be More Loyal. It's a heavy. It's kind of heavy."
Mm-hmm.
Right there showed me that he was a good man because he started thinking about
Other
it being
people.
enough to go and not just him eat, but he was going to go and feed everybody else too. And that did something to the man who gave him the tray. So he said, "Man, you sure you don't want this phone versus, the plate of food?" He said, "Well, if I get the phone, it's going to go dead. I ain't got no charger because you ain't able to charge it with it. You just said a phone.
The phone.
I don't know if the phone on or none of that." So these things that you got to be thinking about when people asking you what you want.
Right.
Because you got to make choices for your life. So he said the food because he know the food will sustain him, and he got enough in there to be able to feed the rest of his friends who he know that's homeless too.
Right.
So now everybody gonna eat today because of this guy making the right decision and not take a phone over the food.
Mm-hmm.
But to make a long story short, he said, "Well, it's $8,000 in there in the styrofoam tray." He said, "By the way, it's $8,000 in the styrofoam tray. So you'd have been passing up the $8,000
for the phone
for a phone that you probably was gonna get and go probably get $150 for because you homeless and you just desperate, and desperation that caused us to do some crazy things and make some foolish decisions, right?" So when the homeless man opened up the thing, he was like, "Oh no, this can't be real." He couldn't believe it. Now not only can he just feed the people, he got enough money to go. They can get clean. They got somewhere to stay now. He can bring all his friends together. They can even start something with the $8,000.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So sometimes, man, mental health played a role in that because we gotta learn how to stop being so selfish and learn how to include others. Because the first thing that man said when he got the tray is, "Oh, I can help. I can feed. Man, I can feed a whole lot of people with this. There's a lot of food in here."
Right.
But he didn't know it was $8,000 in there.
Yeah, that thing was heavy.
Yeah, so you got eight racks in that joint. And
But one thing I learned too from working with homeless people and people that, you know, are a little more in need than what we are. Some of them they're very intelligent. A lot of them. They're very intelligent. And some of them would rather live the way that they live in than to be in society.
Or in one of them houses.
Yeah.
They rather not no shelter, nothing like that, because in all actuality, one of them told me, he said, man, why would I go and be in a shelter when I got a curfew?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a grown person. Why I gotta be coming in when they want me to come in? Why I gotta go sleep and lights out when they say so? I'd rather be out here free in this street.
It's stipulations.
And-
a lot of stipulations.
Daytime gonna come, and then nighttime gonna come.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'd rather have for my lights to go on and off when I choose to go off. So,
Yeah.
I'd rather be out here in the cold, man, than to take somebody else's bull crap.
Yeah.
And that's real.
I had a lady, I was passing out flyers. We had just, me and one of my girlfriends had just got a suite together, and we was managing another salon, and we were passing out flyers and just walking around, and we seen a lady, and it was right out Pikesville. We was in Pikesville at that time, and she was just like underneath of a office space. It was like in between you know how like you got the little inside, it's like a covering right there, and the steps are right there, and you go into the office, it's a suite here, a suite there. So she was inside the little cover hole, right? And it was an abandonment building because there was no the business wasn't open at the time, it was shut down.
Right.
And so she was just in there. She had her clothes, you know, everything was just laid out, nice and neat and stuff like that.
That was a home.
And she built a home, yeah. And I went to give her $10, right? And you know, she said, I didn't ask for your money. She didn't take it. And it showed me something though, that sometimes, no matter if we might look at them as they need something, right? And she's like, I didn't ask you for that. I didn't say I needed the $10, right? Some people feel as though the little bit that they have is all that they need. And she was okay with that. She was comfortable. She might have already ate breakfast that day, or you know what I mean? Or
Right, fuller than
she
you.
probably was, yeah, she probably had, we don't know what they did. And then, and there's another, I saw something else too, right? Where, and this was on social media, and this was years ago. And it was a guy, he was, you know, out asking for money and stuff like that on the strip. And a guy had actually recorded him. He had been recording him, right, and watching him, like researching, I guess. And the man, he was out there. He had, you know, his outfit, his clothes was dingy and dirty, and he was out there collecting money. And so they followed this man because they said, you know, it was just he was only out there certain days, and he would come out first thing in the morning, and then would leave at a certain time every day, right? So he watched them, he recorded them. This man left from with his station, with, you know, that's what they called it, his station. Got in, walked around the corner, walked down the block around the corner. This man went and got in a BMW.
You told me the guy got killed too, right? He killed him.
I think so. I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about.
He got in a BMW and then went and they followed him. He went to his house. He had a real big house.
It was $200 of his baby money or something. It was something for the kid, his kid.
Right.
And he, like you said, he followed them, and then Yo went home into a nice house and everything. Got in the car, and then he was playing the whole time.
Yeah. That's how he was living. He was getting enough money on the location that he was at to basically afford a BMW and a house. And that's how he was paying his bills. But, I mean, it just go to show you again, never judge a book by its cover.
He was a heck of an entrepreneur to do.
Yeah, he was, right. That's how he
was
paid his bill. Yeah. He like, shoot, I'm going to go out here like a job from 9 to 10 hours, get my money and pay my bills. Now, you know, some people they are with that. Some people can't. But a BMW, you got enough to make a BMW. That strip must have been heavyweight. It must have been busy every day. But again, it's just the mentality of people, though. People mentality, everybody is different. And if you use your brain for good, can you imagine if he took that the way he thought, right, and took it and started a business or did something to help other people that was in need. Like you did. You get what I'm saying? Like again, mental health is really serious. It's so serious, and I believe that anyone that is going through something, like, don't be afraid to go get the help that you need. Because when you're not doing, I'd rather do something than to do nothing. Because if you're doing nothing, you're never going to get out of the situation that you're in. You're going to be stagnant. You're going to be stuck, at one level. But if you go out here, you just never know. You might meet the right person. You come out here, come to these events that we're doing. Come out here to the farmers market. When we do the events, the mental health events, even the fashion shows, we always have some type of resource, that can assist in the community. That's always our goal, is just to help. What can we do to impact the community? And I feel like when we have these events, I think mental health is something, for me, it goes abroad just May, the month of May. But May is where, I guess they aim for mental health, so they put May as the month that we bring awareness to it. But I feel as though beyond May, we need to start implementing, the community need to start implementing more, say facilities and stuff like that can help people. Like, because right now it's rough out here. It's tough. It is so tough, and we all go through something, So I think if they start saying, like, all these abandoned buildings out here, the community should definitely be a more, and I'm not going to say they're not making a change and not doing things in the community. They're trying, but I feel like with all the money that we have out there, all the grants and
I'm not understanding, right? How are we doing this with no money?
Yeah.
And the people who got money ain't even doing nothing.
Because they thinking small. They thinking small minded. You know what I mean? And what they need to do is come to people, the leaders that's actually doing things out here in the community.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. And link up with them and actually make some things happen. If you put real money behind some of these resources and these community leaders that's actually doing the work, and they're doing it with their own money out their own pocket, then, again, we can actually make a bigger impact. But it's the me, stigma where, I want to look like I'm doing this, or I want to look like I'm doing that, but you're really not doing anything. And you're hurting the community more by being small-minded and just doing it bits and pieces of it, But if again, numbers matter. Numbers matter. If you, like how we collaborate, and then we bring other resources in, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could actually make a major impact in our community, and we got to start somewhere. And it has to be with each other. If the leaders come together, the people that's boots on the ground and they actually doing the work, they get together, and they get together with the city or in the county, because we got it both places. You get what I'm saying? And we can actually make some magic happen. Like, let's make some magic happen. We do it every day. Every day. Let's make some magic happen.
And the reason why I know magic happens every day, because the people that's coming out to the giveaways that we do, the events that we do, they can't even believe it.
Mm-hmm.
They ask us, y'all playing? Like, how much is this stuff? Like, it's good stuff. Like, why y'all playing? Like, I know this ain't free. And people, and that's part of the mental health. People have been lied to for so long and played with so long and given so much garbage to, that when they see real stuff, they don't even believe that it's real.
Right.
I get so many calls saying how I'm doing what I'm doing, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I just like helping people.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, what's his name on the Shay Shay show?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. Now listen, I watched him before all this mess happened with him.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was talking about him. He was the big topic. I want to get on his show. And just one wrong turn, changed his whole life,
Mm-hmm.
changed his whole following, his whole bit of friend circle is gone. Like we gotta be able to make conscious decisions, y'all. Like not just for a moment, but you gotta think when I make this decision, it's gonna affect my life.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Look at Diddy.
Billions of dollars and can't get home. Like listen, it's not money, y'all. Everybody keep chasing the almighty dollar, but you need to be chasing the almighty God.
Mm-hmm.
Because God gonna open up doors that no man can ever open for you. He gonna close the ones that need to be closed and all that.
Bring it up. There you go.
Hold up, y'all. We gonna get it right.
Wait a minute. They can't hear it. We can.
Oh, yes. There we go.
There you go. We fixed it.
See? But like I was saying, like we just gotta want to love somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When I see you, I see me. If you could just make it a mirror. When you see people, just think of it as being a mirror. And that's how I was able to cope with my mental health. Like I see my brother, I see my sister. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I want for me, I want for you.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it ain't for me, it's for you. So sometimes I gotta put myself on the back burner to get you where you need to get you, and then I get there behind you.
Right.
And everybody don't like being last. People want to use people. They want to take your anointing and then use it for their own vainglory.
Right.
They want to take your work and act like they done it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are people doing that? They don't want, like we said, they don't want to spend money with us. They want to come Jew us down. You saying you my friend, so why you trying to give me half of what I'm asking for? But when you go to somewhere else, you spending top dollar and you're gonna pay taxes with it.
Right.
Like let's support each other. Like we asking, all right, we gotta move forward, y'all. We got big event coming up.
May the 31st.
May the 31st,
Mm-hmm.
Reginald F. Lewis Museum. Like, and I Googled this too. You know, I'm famous for Googling something because everybody want to Google, right?
Right.
So
I think we got
There
it.
we go.
I think
that is. So I Googled it, and this what we going to do on May the 31st has never been done nowhere else in the world.
Mm.
So this is a very big historical moment when you got people like Sam's Club calling us. You got
Oh my God, there's so many different. We actually just had a boxing company that literally just texted as we was coming in here about coming to be a part of the mental health event. We have we have a lot of vendors. We have a lot of resources, mental health resources. We have people that's going to be helping with housing, people that's going to be helping with different programs. If you need help, healthcare providers and stuff like that will be there as well. We're going to have guest speakers that's going to be speaking on fitness and wellness and, nutritionists and eating healthy.
and don't forget the guys. Y'all guys, come on now. We got
Yeah,
the beautiful
guys,
models
it's
gonna be
for
there.
everyone.
The models is
The
gonna
models
be there.
gonna
Y'all better
be
bring y'all
there.
butt out there.
Showcasing and showing confidence building and self-esteem. Like, that's what we're going to be doing, and it's going to be a great event.
You got yoga.
Oh, we got yoga, I got Zumba, boxing session. Like, it's going to be a great event. And guess what?
What?
All you got to do is show up. That's
All you
it.
gotta do is just show up.
That's all you got to do is show up,
Mhm.
And, again, it's something that we would love to see happen more often, so you got to show up. That's the only way people are going to see, like, okay, we are really making an impact in the community, because if the community show up, then now we can do more. You never
Some
know.
people have never been to the museum.
Right, like we have some amazing sites in our own hometown, from downtown, from Federal Hill and all that. Like, it's so many different landmarks that are very historical. Okay, but again, if we are not going out, you got tourists coming down to to explore our community, and we're not even exploring. Right, and we're not even exploring and experiencing it. So, again, we talk down about Baltimore. They talk down about Baltimore a lot. But there's a lot of good things that's happening here in Baltimore. We got a lot of, successful people. Kind of look at one of right now, and I see her all over my social media. And shout out to Pinky Cole. Pinky Cole, owner and CEO and re-owned CEO of Slutty Vegan. Like, shout out to her. Like, to share your story of losing, you know, her baby, which was her brand and her business that she, started and took from ground up. Again, like, nobody understand. Like, being an entrepreneur, being out here, it's not easy. Life isn't easy for anybody, right? But to be able to survive in this world and this society with your own, having your own and sustaining your own, is really hard out here. So for her to be out here and she's taking her story and taking her experiences and her failures, and she's learned from it and she's sharing it with the world, right? So I commend her for that, because there's not too many people that's going to be willing to say, I lost what I created. I did at one point in time in my life, whether, I don't care if it was for a month, a year, 6 months, that was not her baby anymore. And to be able to get it back, like, that's a whole nother feeling. You get what I'm saying? So again, I want to commend her and shout out to her, because it's hard to be able to go in front of millions of people. And at this point, it's probably more than that. Sharing your story. You get what I'm saying? And again, that's why I say we got to learn we got these cell phones and cameras and stuff like that.
It can work for you.
Start making the platform work for you. Okay? Because we out here, we go on here for entertainment. We use it for entertainment. Everybody use it for something different. Not everybody is an entrepreneur. Some people is meant to, be the person that helped the entrepreneur get to, building their company, and y'all rise together.
Know your lane.
Right? Some people are not built for it. And then you got the entrepreneur that, hey, no sleep, 24/7. We do this every day. So again, shout out to everybody that's out here that's following their passions, doing their thing, because it's not easy out here. It's not. It's really hard, but you gotta stay consistent. Gotta stay consistent.
I say it's crazy, right? That and it's no shade to nobody, no disrespect to nobody, nothing like that. I tell it how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't give nobody no pass. Like, people be a Christian, you hard on people. Like, nah, I ain't hard on people. I'm hard on me. Like I'm hard on myself. So if I'm hard on myself, it's gonna rub off onto the people that's around me. Like, I don't give nobody no outs. I ain't giving you no slack. We ain't doing none of that. Guess why? Because y'all been out here for the past 30 years, right? I didn't had a whole time out in my life, right? That's why I ain't getting nobody no pass. Because them people done took me and hit me for 19 years straight, right? I ain't had no walking around Baltimore, no none of that. I ain't had no opportunity to go get jobs. Like, it's jobs out here. People don't want work. You get a job, you don't want work. I'm saying this. If I can go and take a break for 19 years and come back and bounce back and get everything back, then that means that the people that been out here always supposed to have something already, and y'all supposed to be walking in it.
Right.
So that's why I don't get nobody no excuse when they're like, yo, can you do this? Can you do this? Hold up. How long you been away? No. What you been out here doing? See, we gotta stop playing, y'all. People is playing right now, and life is too serious right now to be playing. Y'all gotta get this thing right. If I can come back out here and got my mind straight by being gone and being out y'all way, y'all ain't see me. When I pop back on the scene, people like, yo, where you come from? Like, where you been? People ask me where I've been. I've been somewhere trying to study to show myself approved. So I went and studied this, what y'all see me doing. I ain't just wake up and talk about I'm gonna go out here and start feeding people. No, it was in me the whole time. I was feeding people the wrong stuff. Like, God had to switch my product, switch my product. So you gotta start talking to God like you talk to that girl when you gossiping on the phone and you calling in, you talking about people. You need to be talking to God the same way about yourself, so that he can help get you right. Because ain't no way I can help you if I ain't together. Yeah. If I ain't got myself together, I can't help nobody else. I'm no good for nobody else. That's why, like, Chris, when you rest, I rest for 19 years. I've been asleep already. I'm wide awake now. Like, I don't need too much to get me going. And I kept wondering, like, Lord, why am I doing all these push-ups? Why am I doing all these crunchies? Why am I doing burpees? Why am I doing all these pull-ups? Why am I hitting these weights when guess what? I was training all that time for such a time as this. You know how many boxes I had to carry today? My son, man, shout out to my son, man. Hey,
Yes.
but he didn't show up this morning.
No.
The people listen, I'm talking about it's so much freaking food from the floor up to the ceiling. Nothing but skinny popcorns. The whole is 6 layers. Probably 20.
But that's a hit too. That skinny popcorn.
Oh,
they love that skinny popcorn.
we got more too.
They love it.
I wasn't able to get a lot today because my son, he was tired, man. You know, he gotta get his rest too. But it's not his vision. So I don't expect people to show up like I'm gonna show up because God ain't show it to them. So as long as he keeps showing it to me, I'm gonna keep showing up, and then maybe people can see me showing up, and then they're gonna show up.
Yeah, show up.
So that's how that goes. Like I can't make nobody do nothing that they don't want to do. Even with mental health, I can't make you believe something that you don't want to believe.
Right.
I can't make you want to get this help if you don't want the help. So when you come in asking for help, be sure that's when you make the yes and you really want to get the help, because we don't want to be wasting nobody's time. Like time is, I'd rather waste my money than waste my time.
You wasting your time, and that's the thing too that people gotta realize too. Like I said, like the other day, I went out with my kids. I took them out, right? And recently I just left my job and stuff like that. I left my job, but guess what? I'm still working. And I left my job so that I can free up my time to be able to do more. And, my kids are getting older. Soon my kids are going to be going to college. And, mom's going to be by itself. So I got to be busy.
That's a whole mental health thing you just gave. You walked away from your job.
I did. The second time. This is not the first time. First time was post office. I walked away for a 12-year post office bid. I call it a bid. Because that was 12 years.
I know you're gonna do better than you was when you.
Yeah, when I was there, and I am now. Like mentally alone. Like some people, I always tell people and they say, "Well, how can you just quit your job like that?" Why? Because again, sometimes what I've learned in life for myself, I already know what my goals are. I know what it is that I want to do. I know what my passions are. I'm living them every day. At the same time, I was working at the post office for 12 years. I was also running my business, still doing production, still doing fashion shows, having network. Now what I did allow back then was for my job to, like they say, how did you fund your business? That's how I did it. That job, that post office job funded my business.
Stepping stone.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have investors, I didn't have sponsors, I didn't have a family heritage like some of these people do. So again, I use that money to pay for production, pay for marketing, and I do marketing, but I've had to pay for those things. You get what I'm saying? So again, sometimes, and then even like with the hair cuttery, like me working there, I knew that eventually I was going to want to own my own salon, which is why I really went to hair school from the beginning. That's why I changed my career so that I can run my own establishments, right? And so after that, I went to hair cuttery. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to see what was the difference from a private salon, which is, we call it urban private salon, from a corporate salon. Hair cuttery is a corporation, right? So what I've learned is, I educated myself on how to run a business. From a private salon setting to having suites, because I did that too, to even now a corporation. So I've learned from all of them. And I know now what works for me. I know what I don't want to deal with. I know what I don't want to do. I know what I want to do. I know what I would take from both entities and create my own for myself. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes we go on to these jobs and we get these jobs, or we go through these careers and, we might go to college, or we might take up a trade or something like that. And it's not to work for anybody else. And again, there's nothing wrong if that's what you want to do. But some of us are just entrepreneurs at heart. I want to be free. I want to be able to make my own schedule and again, I might work 10 times harder than I do for somebody else. But guess what? It doesn't feel like work to me. I done had 3 meetings today. I've also been able, and I'm working now, sitting here, we on radio. You get what I'm saying? But I've also spent time with my family. Today I was able to sit down with my sisters. My sister and my mom.
I heard TV on.
Right.
TV on?
Right. So I was able to relax a little bit. I was able to get my daughter from school.
Without
Take her.
rushing?
Look, I got my Mother's Day gift already. She bought me a Pandora bracelet and say, "I love you, Mom."
And you weren't rushing?
And I wasn't rushing. I didn't have to. Let me hurry up because I gotta take this lunch break to hurry up and get my kids and then go back to work and I gotta deal with 12 different. 18 different other stylists and their schedule on top of my schedule. And again, I loved my stylists. My stylists were great, and I appreciate both of my jobs because that the post office taught me how to work every day for myself. Because at one point in time, I worked 7 days a week for somebody else. So from 5, I remember one time being outside delivering mail in the snow. From 5 a.m. I had to be to work at 5 a.m. to sort the mail because I did clerk work and I did mail courier work, but I was a mail courier, and I learned both. You get what I'm saying? So they would use me to put up 3-4 routes sometime, and then I still had to go out and deliver mail for 2 hours, and sometimes, and then when I was pregnant, I was up there delivering packages and doing all the stuff, for doing collection mail. I learned how to drive 2 tons and stuff like that. So again, when I decided to go and start doing tours, I was driving the Springs myself because I knew how to drive those big trucks. You get what I'm saying? So again, it was like you take something from every situation and you take it and utilize it for what you want to do for yourself. It's just education and it becomes experience, right? That does not mean that that's your destiny. And that's where you have to stop at, because every situation I have managed to learn from it, elevate in it and make it work for myself. And I'm still learning. I'm not where I want to be. I'm still learning. But again, it just shows like I know where I'm going and I know where I'm headed. So I don't question God and where I'm at and, where am I supposed to be because I know I'm headed there. So anyone, I want to say this to anyone that are going through a hard time or going through a situation where they feel stuck. Learn how to take the situation and make it work for you. You get what I'm saying? Because if you may be in a situation to gain an experience or to learn something from it, take the time to sit still sometimes. Sometimes we dwell on that moment and where we are and not where we're headed. And that's when we lose focus, right? And we start going downhill. And then we get into depressed mode. And then we, start surrounding yourself around the right people. Because the right people, if they see you going down in that direction, they see you, she's starting to, look like she's getting depressed again. She's drifting low. The right people you said the 5 people that you surround yourself with, them 5 people gonna uplift you. They're gonna push you back up. They're not gonna let you touch the ground. So if you do what you gotta do, and that's the first thing is surround yourself around the right people, places, and things in life, and then learn from your experience. Because God is not gonna allow you to go through anything that you're not gonna be able to get through. So understand that, right? So again, mental health, we have to take into consideration that if you don't do the work and you are at a place in life where you just feel stuck, it's just a negative energy, you're around the wrong people, start removing yourself little by little. Spend less time with them. Find some coping mechanisms. Go walking in the park, or go take a moment to go do something by yourself. Whether it's go to the movies, go out to eat, or start dating yourself. Start dating yourself first. Start learning what it is that you like. That way, when somebody else enters into your life, you already know, I don't like this, something like that. I'm not dealing with that. Your do's and your don'ts and what you're not going to do, what you're going to do. You get what I'm saying? So that mental health is very, very important because it's going to help you learn about yourself.
I paid somebody, I donated $3,000 a month for them to show me who they was. I paid people to show me who they is because people will tell you anything that you want to hear.
Right.
But just Figure out what you want to do. Like she said, I'm not hanging around with no anybody because my goals ain't for everybody.
Right.
So I want to line up myself up with the people who got goals, people who are already successful. I'm not hanging out with nobody who don't know which way they going.
Mm-hmm.
So I know people want friends, and that's my girl, and that's my guy. Listen, when I went through what I went through, God was showing me that it was only gonna be me and him going through this joint. Them storms was meant to make you, not break you. So sometimes when you go through a storm, God, especially when you asking for stuff, well, I don't want to be around her no more, or I want that person to gone out of my life. Listen, God gonna take you through a storm so you can get out of it. Because guess what? The person you're really trying to get rid of don't want to go through the storm with you. So go through the storm.
Right.
Get the lesson. And when you come out of the storm, guess what? You're gonna look back, and the person that you was trying to leave, they're gonna be way behind you.
Yeah.
Don't be looking back. God told Lot and his wife to leave. So I mean, come on, just leave and don't look back. She decided that she wanted to look back, and she turned into the salt, but he kept going.
Mm.
So I ain't looking back for nobody who I left already. What I'm looking back for? It was bad there. So if it was bad there, why are you looking back?
Right.
Make a decision to move forward. It all comes down, mental health comes down to you. What do you want?
Right.
Where you want to be at. Because wherever you want to be at, you can do. Say we can do all things, not some things. So if you're going through anything, that means there's a way for you to get through it if you go through it with God and stop depending on people.
Mm-hmm.
People gonna let you down. My mom always told me this. She said, Chris, I'm like I told you the story about the time I needed some money because I got on lockup and stuff and I had no money. My radio was missing. They stole all my stuff from me. So I'm like, listen, Ma, I don't got nothing. They took everything from me. And she never told me, Chris, I got you. Watch out for them I got yous.
Mm-hmm.
I got your back. I'm here. You don't got to say that. You're supposed to be showing that.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have to question, do you got my back or not? And even with the people that I'm helping right now, I'm so helpful. I stretch because I think that people going to do the same for me, but they're not. This Be More Loyal thing, yeah, I'm pushing it, but guess what? It's still people getting over on me. It's still people count me like I don't matter. I'm helping them and they still trying to juke me. If I'm bringing you money, it don't matter if you can't. Now I got to go here because if I'm helping you to get money, right? There's no way that any rule or you doing anything illegal will ever stop you from blessing me back.
Right.
You don't if set up where as though I'm getting this money in to Be More Loyal and they say that I can't pay Miss Critique. Okay, well I might can't pay Miss Critique, but I can give Miss Critique a stipend.
Mm-hmm.
I can give her a donation. She got a business. She working and doing nonprofit stuff. She giving away stuff to people. So why can't I make sure that I'm trying to take care of my people who I said I got your back?
Right.
It shouldn't be no second guessing about no legal things or none of that shouldn't. We shouldn't even think about that because we ain't doing nothing legal. Everything we doing is by the book.
Right.
So in order for everything to work and go by the book and me still make sure I look out for her because she's looking out for me, I'm gonna create a way where I can give it to her. If I really want to give it to you.
If you really want to. Right.
See, everybody somebody they got you. They don't really got you. So you got to question, Chris, what do I want out of this? Do I want to even deal with this? Like some stuff ain't even meant for me to be dealing with. That's why I'm start cutting stuff. Like I'm chopping stuff. Slowly but surely, I'm chopping people. And it's people. They're gonna drag you down. They're gonna use you. They're gonna word it differently because it's gonna sound different, but it's still the same thing.
Right.
Especially if you ain't showing me nothing different with your actions. So stop letting people use y'all too. You're not nobody doormat. You don't get walked on. Don't let nobody talk down on you. Stick your chest out. Put your head up. There's somebody up there. You better start looking up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it ain't nothing down there. What you walking around looking at the ground for? Ain't nothing down there. Don't nothing come from down there unless you plant something. If you ain't got no seeds to go and make something come up, ain't nothing coming up, so you better be looking up. Say, my help come from the hills. Hills.
Yeah.
So what else we got?
May 31st. I mean, let's just tell them,
Oh, we got this Saturday too. We'll be at 2900 Mosier Street. We gonna continue to do. Oh, we got red carpet.
Yep.
We got ribbon cutting.
Ribbon
cutting coming up this Saturday. We got a ribbon cutting coming up. Ribbon cutting.
Yes.
Coming up this Saturday. What time we gonna think about?
We're gonna do it. What?
11:30,
Between
12.
11, yeah, 11, 12 o'clock.
So we're going to say 12 o'clock. We got the ribbon cut, so everybody come out to 2900 Mosier Street. We got the big refrigerators, and we got the big freezers. Just yesterday, we was giving away whole hams and whole chickens yesterday. I know people probably seen it on the video or stuff like that. I think it's still something in there because somebody can't put a thing and said, anything in the refrigerator? I said, yeah, it's chicken in here. Let me get one. So we giving away whole chickens. We're going, and you can also donate to the refrigerator. It's 2900 Mosier, but you know it's gonna be down in the middle of the block. You can see the freezers. You can't miss them. Big white joints. I think they putting a blue tent up around it so that in case it rain, nothing don't get messed up or whatever the case may be. But if you want to donate food for the community, if you want to go out and buy some hot dogs, hamburgers, whatever you want to do to donate and keep the freezers full so that people can walk by who don't have anything. Even we're gonna have them cakes and pies and donuts and stuff like that in the refrigerator too, because there's a lot of homeless people that walk around through there too. That can just stop by, they grab, 6 things of donuts, whatever the case may be. But we always are trying to feed people. But I think this is the biggest freezer and the biggest refrigerator in the city.
I think so too.
God, listen, let's not get it twisted. Because I'm not trying to show nobody out. I ain't trying to show that I'm big or I'm doing better than people because I'm just like y'all. You feel me? I ain't nobody famous or nothing. Like, I'm a regular person just like you. I'm human. But my decision making, my consistency don't even allow me to go small because I don't serve a small God. So everything that Be More Loyal do is going to be big because I serve a big God and I'm not doing nothing small anyway. So it's not nothing against nobody else. I'm just saying what I ain't doing.
Well, I also feel like granted, it doesn't matter who done started whatever. Because somebody then got that idea from somebody else. It could be another state doing it somewhere else. You know what I mean? And we don't know.
We've been had freezers and refrigerators.
Yeah, we did.
We just had them
inside. We was putting them inside, right? They was inside. How did you think we kept the food cold and, stuff like that and frozen? So those are things that we already did. Mm-hmm. We just didn't put them out in the front.
Yeah, we ain't want to get no citation. We ain't know that you can do it. So
now,
now we know we ain't get no citation.
You can put refrigerators on the side of the road, in front of businesses. Why not? But at the end of the day, it's all about the meaning behind it. It's to help. And I feel like it shouldn't be an issue with what you're doing if it's to help. It's to help the community. You're not doing nothing wrong. You're trying to feed the community. Yeah. You're not taking away from them. So again, I just feel like, if anybody want to support, y'all can donate. You can bring food or you can, send funds and stuff like that. Anything, any little bit help, any little bit help. And again,
ice creams for the kids in the freezers. It's summertime.
You have somewhere to go, and it's a lot of people out here that don't have food. They don't have the funds. You gotta pick and choose whether or not you're gonna feed yourself and your kids, or just feed yourself, or feed your kids and not yourself. Or pay a bill, a light bill or something like that. So I feel like, and we've heard the stories, a lot of the people, they come to the community, they come out to the community, market, and they're telling us, like, just them coming out every Saturday. And at one point, we was doing it 3 times a week. At the mall, we was doing it 3 times a week. And I was like, go ahead, let's get we was doing it 3 times a week. And it helped the people, because again, some people don't have the funds, and even if you do get food stamps and stuff like that, that stuff go fast, and you ain't giving enough. Everything that went up, the cost of living has went up.
They had 15 items in the car, telling me that was $400. I said,
yes,
what?
Yes.
I said, man, listen, that stuff high there.
It's high. Chicken alone, eggs. Eggs, what, $12, $13 now?
We giving eggs
away.
You
used to can get eggs, a carton of eggs for like $2, $3. It's like, what happened for it to make it that much? You get what I'm saying? Again, we're not doing anything to hurt the community. We're just trying to help it.
And the reason why we get the donations is because we're trying to buy fresh vegetables, fresh produce, fresh food.
Farm, that's not free. They're not giving us anything.
No, ain't nobody giving us nothing. Can't nobody say they gave us nothing. We've been buying everything. But now we just saying that we want the community to be able to contribute to us buying your food. Right. I don't mind having that stuff delivered for you that you can't get out the markets. We don't want. I want to wean y'all off of that. I can't snatch it from y'all. Just you can't just take stuff from people. But I'm just saying, like, and I can't change your eating habits. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you that when you get this fresh, That's all you gonna want is fresh.
Right.
It tastes different. You ain't got to worry about trying to run home and real quick. I gotta cook it now. No, you create your own sell by date. You come out and you pick what you want. If you get to a table and you don't like what's on the table, you can keep walking past the table. You don't even gotta take it. We ain't making you take nothing. We ain't boxing nothing. We ain't bagging nothing up. You come and create. If you got a box in your hand walking down Poplar Grove or Mosier Street, that's because you put that stuff in there yourself.
But that's what I like about what you do, because again, I mean, I've been to, working in the mental health field. Some of the things that we do is help our our customers and clients with resources. And I've had to go and get bags of food to take to them so that they can feed their kids at the end of the day. And I look in these bags and some of the stuff is like, I'm not feeding nobody this. I've literally taken things out of it. I mean, again, yes, people can't be choosy, whatever, like they say.
You can't be choosy though.
But
you can't just
you can't give me anything. Not even this motor, because you go through the food. And it's times where they do give us motor food, but you're not gonna see it because you make sure you don't get it. But at the end of the day, it's like when they bag the food up, you don't know. They're not asking you, well, what are your children allergic to? And if you done gave me, my daughter just told me about a person that just, her friend, this child got so many allergies. And it's like, for a person like that, like, if you're giving me a bag and you're just like, here, and half the bag I can't even eat it. So, like, how is this helping me?
Well, you got your workout on today because you carried all that stuff.
I carried everything I can't eat.
You got your weight workout today.
You get what I'm saying? So, to be able to come and, like, you it's really like a farmer's market, just as if y'all was going to the farm. Like, you go out and you get the food. They're able to come and choose what they want and then not even just that. When some of these programs I see, they do it and, it's sometimes you got the churches and they have the cars and they lined up, you know what I'm saying? You're not communicating, you're not talking with the people, you're not, like nothing. Like, it's just they come, they get the food, they drop off.
What's your name?
And then the sheet. But then it's per car, per household, right? So they might give you 2, maybe 3, depending on what it is, right? And in them boxes, they ain't that heavy. It's bags. I've never seen boxes. It's been bags. But what it is too, right? The difference between you and them, you actually allow every person that come out. So if a child come out and their name is on the thing. So if a person, say a family of 5, and I've seen it with my own eyes, family of 5, they come out and the parent, they put all the people that's with them on that list, including the children. And I've seen it with my own eyes. And every last one of them is going around the tables with an S. And they're able to pick up what they want. You got the kids like, oh, this is my box.
Yeah.
It's my food. This is my snack. This
is
what I want.
One time over there, but they weren't really fighting, but they was like, hold up, you gotta get your own.
Yeah, get your own. This is mine. And I'm sure they in the house like, wait a minute, I got this. I went to the market today. This is mine. You get what I'm saying? But the good thing about it is that they're able to choose. They're able to, and now not only are you showing them that here, this is for you. This is what we're getting for you, and that is you're able to have more. But now you're showing the children how to market. You get what I'm saying?
In case mommy gets sick. They know what to pantry.
They know what to get. They need to, you're providing a resource and you're actually teaching them at the same time. So again, because a lot of time, like when me being the firstborn, like I did a lot of, things early on, cooking and, going to the market and stuff like that. And so I knew the market, like that. I used to go with my grandma all the time. Sam's Club was my favorite one.
What about Murray Steakhouse?
I used to go there too. I used to go there. For real? I used to eat them sweet hots. sausages from there. And
They're the big red ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
I used to like those. I don't eat them now, but I used to like those. And
them hot dogs, the 40 in the white box.
Mhm.
Like chicken patties.
man, I had all of them. Now the chicken patties, I like them. We used to fry them things, put them in the grease. But again, it shows them how to market. Now, like you say, your parents can fall sick, or if you got the ones that they living with the grandparents and stuff like that, they can fall sick. Now they can come out. Oh, I'm going to go to the market. You know, we know Mr. Chris is going to be here every Saturday. You know, and they can have something. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's all about helping the community, making the impact, and doing more, and just showing something positive. Again, we still waiting on where the news at. Where's the news? Okay, where is the news? Like,
you know, I wanted to give each person that come out their own individuality.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that I didn't want mommy to come and just grab what she thinks she want to cook for the children.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the children to be able to grab what they like, what they love to eat themselves, so that when it's time to cook, they can say, well, mommy, I got this.
Right.
She ain't got to try to worry about, I got 6 children, and when I get this box, it's really not enough in there for the whole family to eat. So we really got to be like, still hungry a little bit tonight.
Right.
But we're going to put something on our stomach, but we're going to. So when them kids come to that line, they got big boxes.
Mm-hmm.
They got enough to snack on. They got enough for the next couple of days to eat on until we return again.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my whole mission, is to make sure that we get them some good stuff where they ain't got to eat a whole lot of it.
Right.
Because if you got good food, you don't got to eat a whole lot of good food.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get everything you need in your portion.
Right. Right.
But when you got mess and you got stuff that people really just giving you just to show that they look like they doing something. See, we ain't looking like we doing nothing. We actually doing it. And I tell people all the time, I'm trying my best. They say, nah, you doing it. I say, well, let me just give you the spiritual side of that, because as long as I'm trying my best, I leave room for God to do the rest.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's how they go. I ain't doing nothing but just showing up. I told God, yeah, I'm going to do this. And today, man, I ain't gonna lie, I was tired. I loaded all those waters. I had to go to the farm, load everything on the truck, pack the truck, drive the truck, park the truck, unload the truck. So now when time comes Saturday, I probably got about 4 loads.
Yeah.
So I gotta go. And I asked some of the volunteers, man, shout out to Miss Lucy for coming out at 9 o'clock. She come out 9 o'clock Saturday. So if you want to volunteer, man, I don't have no problem with volunteering. But listen, I'm gonna give y'all a real special piece right now. And this is May 31st. Every person that donated their $50 towards us purchasing this fresh fruit and vegetables and meat from the farm, they get to go through the line and shop first.
Mm-hmm.
No exceptions. And then you got the people texting me, calling me, saying, put me this to the side. I'm going to clear this up one more time. Put me a box to the side, hold it. I'm at work. We got to start being accountable for if we want to be where God at, because God ain't waiting on us. So if you know that the blessing is going to be at these food drives, you need to plan accordingly. You need to be there present. This ain't the type of food pantry where you can come and somebody can pick up for you, because we don't have a pickup in the delivery at this present time. So what you need to do is show up for God that day so that you can get what he got blessing you that day. Now, if you don't want what he got for you, then you stay where you at, texting, telling somebody to put something to the side for you. No disrespecting nobody, but they always keep trying to compare us. Oh, my church do this, or my pastor do this, or whoever do this. No, they're not doing this, because if they can't stand next to us with receipts in their hands saying that they went to anywhere and brought you some stuff that ain't sell by and you get to make your own sell by date, then they're not doing what we're doing, because they're not giving you what you're supposed to have. Now, if I just imagine if all 1,000 calls she get on her phone, because they call her all hours, day, night, whatever, what's up with the food, and all the calls I get, all the texts we get, all the emails we get, the Instagram, the Facebook messages, the DMs, whatever. Just imagine if we take and hold all of the stuff and make all of the bags and all of the boxes for everybody that call you and text you, that DM you, what food will we have for the community on the tables that we got for the community to come out and do the market, who come there and be there with us, who's out there praying with us, right? I think it's very unfair, or I think it's very rude for people to get upset because nobody can bring you nothing. When if you woke up today, you're able to make it today. Call somebody, tell them what good things that God is doing, and tell them that you want to bring them along. You don't got no money for gas right now, but I'm telling you, when you get to this place right here, you ain't gonna be thinking about no gas or none of that because everything is a blessing right here. We gonna get what we need. So don't ask us to put a box to the side for you or bag something, hold something for you, because what about the people who showed up? If I got 20, 30, 40, 50, 150 people standing in front of me, what I look like putting boxes up for somebody who ain't even come to see me, who ain't even come and pray with me. That's the most important part of my day is the prayer part. I don't care about the food. Once we get the table set and we pray, I don't care nothing about what's going on. I just want everybody to take all the food. I don't care about the food part. I care about who's present praying with me, because that's where the power comes from. That's where the door's opening up at. That's what we getting. Through the prayer. So we need y'all to start showing up. Show up. That's all we asking. I want to feed you, but I can't feed you if you're home and you looking at me on social media. You on Facebook looking at me, I'm on TV and all that. That don't help me. Your likes and your thumbs up and your hearts. Yeah, that's cool to see him going up on the Instagram and see him going up on the Facebook, but that don't help us buy food from the farm. So we need people to start donating. We got cash apps all around. We got emails where if you don't know how to send the money, whatever the case may be, you can email and ask, you can text and ask, you can ask on Facebook, you can wherever. If you really want to help us, don't keep sending us hearts and likes. It's cool to do that, but that don't help us. We don't get grants. Like I said, we don't get grants. We don't get no kind of funding for nobody. We get donations. We're trying to operate off of donations so we can sow what you sow into us, we're gonna give it right back to you. You're gonna see your return. You ain't gonna give us no money and I'm going out here, she going out here paying car payments. Or we taking your money, we got red box. We don't got none of that type of stuff. I keep telling y'all that. We actually show you where your money going at. Look at the videos. Look at the quality of the food that we giving out to people that we buy the food for. We don't want to give you that secondhand food. We want to do away with all that. It's cool now because it's all we got. We're trying to show y'all what we got. Who's on that, Daisy? Show me what you got. We showing y'all what we got. And all we got is fresh, mind-boggling, clean your system up, clean your mind up, listen to me. I'm telling y'all my wife's story now. I'm gonna let her tell y'all. I'll tell y'all already, but I'm just saying.
I gotta show up on the 31st for that. She gonna share that story. I'm gonna get Trish. I'm gonna tell her. You told her already, didn't you?
I told her that we gonna have speakers, but
yeah.
I didn't tell her she was
gonna speak.
Yeah, she gonna speak.
Well, Trish, she gonna see it. You gonna speak, Trish.
Swap it out.
You gonna speak, share your story, share your journey, because people need to hear it. Okay. And like we said, just y'all show up. It's gonna be a nice event, May 31st. Again, even before May 31st. Yes, because we're gonna post it. We're gonna post the itinerary so y'all know what time everything starts. The event itself is from 10 to 4 p.m. We're gonna be having the food early, y'all. It's not gonna be 3 o'clock this time.
Ain't no 3 o'clock.
It's gonna be throughout the day.
Y'all
but you gotta still get there early. 10 a.m.
10 to 4.
To 4 p.m. And we're gonna have the market. We're gonna have speakers. We're gonna have different activities, from fitness activities to Zumba. We're even gonna have a fashion show. Okay.
Vendors.
Yes, all the vendors. Oh my God, we got a whole bunch of vendors, guys, from accessories to funnel cakes to
funnel cake king gonna be in
mental health resources, healthcare providers, all of that. It's gonna be.
What's the girl? Makeup, candles.
Oh, aroma, heavenly aroma. And she's a youth entrepreneur, young girl.
Come support the
babies. Come support the babies, y'all. So it's a free event. Now, when it comes to the fashion segment, right? We included the fashion segment now because we wanted to give y'all a little bit more, right? A part of the show. So you can donate by purchasing a ticket or whatever. And again, that money goes towards helping both the Be More Loyal Foundation so we can get the food, the fresh food. And then it also goes towards the summer camp that we're doing during the summer from June to August. Okay?
Kids need y'all.
The kids are going to be able to learn about cosmetology, barbering. They're going to be learning about self-care, confidence building. It's going to be so much. We're going to be going on field trips and everything. Okay? And I can't wait to share the new location because we have a new location now. That's going to be shared. We actually got a location now. So we need y'all help to just, and I want to be able to also provide space for those who can't afford it. So we got sponsors and they helping to donate. Now we have money that can help fund the material that we need for the kids who parents can't afford it. Because I don't ever want to tell somebody child no. Because they need it too. You know what I mean? If we got the money and the funds to be able to do it, let's bring them in. But we need y'all help to do it. It's a community thing. That's how you change and make an impact. Okay? So again, y'all can go to Be More Loyal. Go to Carter Chris White. You can also go to Critique Empire LLC. Is CritiqueEmpireLLC.com to purchase the tickets and donate for the fashion segment. And that money is what's going to help donate for all of the things that we need to do. Okay, to get the food and to be able to provide material and everything that we need for the summer program for the kids. And we already know Be More Loyal going to be right there with us at the summer program too, doing some things.
Feeding the kids.
So again, it's a community thing, and it's all about leadership and inspiring and making an impact and making some things happen and shape. So I can't talk no more. I'm done for the day.
I wish we could do the go out with the MC Hammer joint. Help the children.
Help the children. We're gonna get that tuned up for you next week. We are almost there. We almost getting closer and closer to the 31st. We are all excited, and we are excited to just this time, y'all, it's gonna be even bigger. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's a whole itinerary. We're making a great event with this opportunity. And shout out to the Reginald F. Lewis. Reginald F. I always say FL. Reginald F. Lewis Museum for bringing us back, and because he was there before, we was there before, helping with another.
The first time.
Yeah, they didn't have enough tape. They was like, wait a minute, we was not expecting all of this, and Chris showed up and showed out, and they offered him an opportunity to come back. Okay, so this is an opportunity that none of these programs has ever had. Okay, it's the first time doing it inside this museum, inside any museum, as far as we know. And we want to be able to continue to do it. So again, when you guys show up for us, we show up for you, and we be able to, be invited again. So we hope to see y'all soon. Again, make sure y'all come out this Saturday, 2900 Motion.
Yes, 2900 Motion. That's at 3 o'clock. I don't know, man. Y'all just gonna have to show up, man, because
show up.
3 o'clock might be I like 3 o'clock. We might just start doing it as soon as possible.
So, yeah.
We might just start getting it going. So if you got to be there.
Yeah.
You
never know. He might surprise you.
If we get there and set them tables up quick enough, listen, I'm going to start calling names right then.
Yeah.
And get that stuff gone. And then whoever lose, don't miss your blessing.
Yeah.
If you ain't got nowhere to go, I'm just saying, make Saturday a day that you want to spend with God.
Right.
If you know that you come into a place where it's going to be so much stuff you can choose from, and make sure that your family is good, especially if you don't got the money, or if you got the money, listen, come and get the stuff and you can free the money up for something else. Maybe the kid needs some shoes, might need their hair done, might need another book bag or something like that. But I'm just saying, this is the Powerful One on Radio. I am your host on the Be More Loyal Soul Patrol show. We're going to see y'all Saturday, but y'all better mark y'all calendar for May the 31st at 10 o'clock.
10 to 4 p.m.
It's going
Reginald F. Lewis Museum.
830 Pratt Street.
830 Pratt Street.
See
y'all there.
Peace.
Right.
Hope we gave them enough info.
I think we did. We've been talking for like an hour and some odd minutes.
I thought it was 20.
No.
What that is?
That's the time.
Oh, that's military time.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Let me see. Oh, we had some.
So I guess we got